What's up, everybody? It's Scotty here with Flat Track Flashback, and we are out here at the beautiful Virginia Motor Speedway, just outside of Richmond, north of Saluda, Virginia, for the RVA Flat Track Virginia Half Mile. This is an amazing facility, and some of the best riders from across the country have come together here to put on a great event for the fans in the house. We're expecting a packed house. This event has gotten great support since it began in 2021, and Mike Hacker and John Nickens have done an amazing job of really building the RVA Flat Track and bringing racing back here to the state of Virginia. We were able to catch up with them a little bit earlier today to get their thoughts on how things came together and what led to bringing this event here to Virginia Motor Speedway as well.
I think Mike was over the house riding with Riley one Sunday afternoon, and I said, hey, we got to put on a race. And then that Monday, I started an LLC and told him, hey, we're going racing, and he says I bullied him into it.
I didn't have much choice. He called me on that Monday and said that we were now joint partners on an LLC.
Somewhere for our kids to ride, because at the time I had Jaden and Ella riding, and Riley and Mike had Riley riding. So we just wanted to get racing back to Virginia.
And everything just kind of fell into place. And that first one was just an amazing weekend and blew both of our minds that it was like it was.
Just the turnout from the fans. I can't believe the amount of fans, the amount of riders we had come out, because they didn't know what they were getting into. And we spent a lot of time planning, but it came together much better than we thought. Mike and I, mostly Mike, worked on getting this track on the schedule for over 2 years. It was tough because it's such a nice facility for amateur racing for us to go in and just say, hey, can we put an RVA Flat Track race on at your facility? So we kind of had to prove ourselves to them before we could get in here.
I just think the facility is great. I felt like it would really showcase what our flat track's all about. You know, great facility, great dirt, great half mile, and just give a little bit more speed. And of course, this size track will bring in the bigger bikes, which I think for fans is an exciting thing to see. Last year was awesome. When we raced here, it was good, but it wasn't as good as last year. That, you know, we got that rain, which ended up being a blessing. And it was just amazing to see it. It was one of the only times in the last 20 years that I actually wished I was on a motorcycle. I want to keep flat track in Virginia, keep growing it, you know, have a place for John's children to showcase their talents. And, you know, they're carrying the torch for John and I now as far as Virginia flat trackers. And we went through our whole career with no local racing. And so it's really cool to be able to have the opportunity to try to have some local racing for the area, because we have a major draw here for fan base from, you know, 3 states.
I'm pretty happy with here in Capital City just because of the distance from our house, and our work schedules won't permit us to go travel all over the state promoting races.
Well, so this is my hometown. I grew up here in Richmond, Virginia. This is where I raced all my flat track career at. So I was born and raised in Glen Allen, Virginia. So this is a hometown race for me. So high importance for the Turner Racing team. In fact, I put it in the rider's contract that they have to come to this race. They're going to get after it, and you know, they better win my hometown race. That's all I can say. First year here, we had over 4,500 fans, and we've grown it ever since. And now we've moved to this big track, and these guys, the Sawyer's family, has embraced us, and they love flat track. So now we get this beautiful facility. It's awesome, man. Really good. We hit a lot of outlaw races all through the season, man, for testing and, you know, to support the promoters, but it does help us. It benefits us, and, you know, getting the bike setups and, you know, motor packages right. So as far as I'm concerned, it's one of the most important things you can do.
1v1, who's going to win?
Me, because I'm going to knock him down.
You also saw Mike Turner there, the owner of the Turner Racing Honda team. Hometown race for him, and he has brought his full fleet of riders, amateurs and professional. We've got the Nickens twins, Walker Porter, Evan Renshaw, and Trent Lowe. And Trent Lowe in the pro class was runner-up in a couple of classes at this track last year, chasing down Trevor Bruner, who is also in the house. Trevor recently stepping up to the AFT Super Twins class aboard that KTM with Dave Zanotti and Michelle DeSalvo. Trevor looking to repeat his success from last year, and we caught up with them a little bit earlier today as well.
These southeastern clay tracks, they really gel with me. I had a lot of you know, the track actually had a lot of rain last year late, and which really plays into my style. I'm kind of an aggressive rider, and I like the throttle, so the rain made it real tacky, and it, you know, played in my benefit to ride aggressive and you know, take some wins. They all put on a great program. It all runs really, really smooth. They get the program ran through really quick. The fans are always, they actually draw out a lot of fans, and then the tracks are always prepped awesome. I mean, even the short track in RVA when they started out was awesome, and then now last year this track was awesome. They prepped it through even monstrous torrential rain and got it in quick. And yeah, so I've always liked their program, the way they ran it and things, and yeah, so it keeps me coming back, and as long as they have them, I'm going to keep coming back. You know, the tracks are really similar to what we're going to be riding next week in Texas, so it only makes sense to get some testing in down here as for a track that's going to be similar. We can get some testing done and see if we can make some improvements, get a little more comfy on the bike, and yeah, all in all, just make some steps forward.
I kind of wrote down some notes from last year, and I've been trying to find some videos from last year and seeing what I could have done better, but luckily I had good notes written down on where I think I could have been better, and kind of got to study Trevor because I was behind him most of the night. So it's good. I mean, we got some ideas to try, and definitely going to be a good test getting ready for Texas. So I'm excited. Back out on car tracks this year. We had our first one in Sonoya, and this is the second one of the year. So should be good. Dude, the fans coming out, and then it's a home race for Turner. All of his family's here. I'd say he's probably got upwards of 50 people coming today. So yeah, it's just being a home race for him, and yeah, just the fans here are awesome to hang out with and talk to. So yeah, it's always a good event to come to.
And that's just a couple of the riders that are in the house today. We've got the rider who's currently second in AFT singles points. We've got Dalton Gauthier in the house, and Dalton's had some success at the RVA Flat Track events when they were held at Capital City. Out here on the half mile, Dalton, no stranger to winning races on half mile ovals, and so we'll see how Dalton can perform out here as he looks to continue this momentum that they've had to begin the year in the AFT season. Again, Dalton, a couple podiums in Daytona. He won the Dash in Sonoy, and is out here at a big clay half mile where the series will then the AFT series will be taking on Texas Motor Speedway a half mile as well. So a lot of these riders looking to get some seat time and get prepared for that round at the end of April. But we're here to talk about RVA Flat Track, and let's see how the night's event went. While the pros may be the stars of the show at times, what truly makes events like this click is the support from local and regional amateur riders, and a full contingent of some of the best riders from across the region and nationally showed up to Virginia Motor Speedway to support the Eddie Boomhower Memorial and RVA Flat Track. And with riders like Walker Porter, Dylan Cunningham, and Jonathan Conaby trying their hands in the pro class on the night, we were in line to see new winners in the amateur ranks. And in the 450 class, it started off with Derek Hirsch getting the jump on everybody, and then Aiden Johnson would get underneath to take the lead. Johnson, a strong performer at this event in 2023 and looking to get one spot better in 2024. He would lead early on, but a rider who was truly the class of the field was Skylar Sintel. Sintel would work his way past Hirsch into second and later drives by Aiden Johnson for the lead, but Johnson would not go without a fight. Getting back by Sintel, these two would exchange the lead a few times before Sintel takes the lead going into turns 1 and 2, holds the line well enough to where Johnson can't square him up, and Sintel would take off and control the rest of this race. Behind him, Cody Mischie made a charge up to fight Aiden Johnson for second place, but in the 450 amateur ranks, it would be Skylar Sintel who would take the win ahead of Aiden Johnson and Cody Mischie. And on to the open amateur class where Skylar Sintel would look to repeat as the winner, but Aiden Johnson, once again, a great start, and Sintel buried in about 5th off the line. Cody Mischie up to 2nd. And look at this run by Ramsel as he charges underneath Mischie, brings Sintel with him. They blow by and go into 2nd and 3rd respectively into turn 3 and 4. Aiden Johnson would lead him off of turn 4 to complete lap 1 and looks to right the wrong from the 450 amateur class and take the win in the open class. But he would be challenged by Sintel once again. Sintel getting by Ramsel here, and he would chase down Johnson, making the move underneath him in turn 4. The two get close, drag race to the line, and Sintel, as he goes for 2 for 2 on the night, Johnson tries to fight back, but Sintel just too strong off the corner. As this race would go on, Johnson would be challenged by Brandon Ramsel and Seth Bindle in a great fight for second place on the track. These riders would duke it out and be a real show as Sintel checked out on everybody, amassing quite the lead. Lots of action throughout the field here, but it was Skylar Sintel who was the class of the 450 in the open amateur ranks, taking home both wins on the night. Behind him, Aiden Johnson comes home with a pair of second places, and Brandon Ramsell rounds out the podium. In the 250 class, it would be Evan Myers getting the jump on the field as they head into 1 and 2, challenged by Cody Michie, Adam Costin, Megan Grimel, and Brody Hansen. There you see Costin around the outside to go into the lead. Hansen would follow him through. Michie looking to gang up on Myers as well and take over the third spot as they head into turn 4 on lap 1. Now, Costin, Hansen, and Michie would pull away and have a battle amongst themselves for the win in this 250 class. Costin strong and consistent ahead, not leaving any openings for Hansen or Michie to get through. Now, Hansen would relinquish the second spot to Cody Michie, and Michie, who'd been fast all night long, looks like he might be able to challenge and take over the lead from Costin late in the race. Final lap, Costin leading the field out of turn 2. Michie in close pursuit. Hansen right there as well. These three truly top talents in the 250 amateur class. Going to be ones to watch as they go to amateur nationals. But coming to the checkered flag, it would be Budman. Adam Costin gets the win over Cody Michie and Brody Hansen. In the Mad Dog class, a class that personally I'm not a huge fan of on half miles, but hey, a great starter class. If you're looking to get into flat track racing, definitely the way to go. And on this night, in the Mad Dog class, Tim Norris, well, he mad dogged him, winning this race by almost 13 seconds. Charlie Roberts making light work of the Vintage Light class. Roberts would take the lead and pull out to a comfortable advantage, bringing that Bull Taco home in first place. The Vintage Heavy class would see 3 riders come across the line just half a second apart. John Perro over Darren LePage and Jason Bennett. These three super close. Anybody's race on the last lap, but Perro would come out victorious. Now, the youth class is on the night. We only had 3 riders in the 50cc, 4 riders in the 65, and 2 in the 85 class. So not the numbers we would hope for, but still, the 50cc class started the night. The heat race battle between Odin Music and Ellen Nickens, quite possibly a candidate for race of the night. They set the tone early on, and the rematch in the main event would see these two go at it once again. Now, as Grammy Award winner Rihanna would say, please don't stop the music. Odin would happily oblige. There was no stopping music in the 50cc main event, as he would get redemption from his heat race defeat and take home the win in the 50cc class over Ellen Nickens. Now, behind them, the crowd favorite coming across the line. Let's listen to this reaction for Bo Boyer as he brings his PW home after the main event.
Let him hear it. Let him hear it, Virginia Motor Speedway. Bo Boyer.
Looking to pay homage to another Grammy Award winner, Drake. Odin Music hoping to go back-to-back as he challenges Jaden Nickens for the win in the 65cc class. But the music skips here coming off of turn 4. Odin Music slips the groove, and that would pave the way for Jaden Nickens to comfortably come home, a hometown hero, taking the win in the 65cc class. As we mentioned, going back-to-back, Jaden Nickens looking even stronger aboard his 85, and he would take the win in the 85cc class, relatively unchallenged, led from start to finish over Colton Samuels, and gets 2 wins on the night, about an hour away from his hometown. Very popular win for Jaden, but it's not all about the kids. We had 2 vet classes, and in the 30-plus class, we saw former Daytona short track winner Rick Winsett control early on, but face a late race charge from Derek Hirsch. He would have to fend off Hirsch, who would make a really good run there out of 2. Stay close, but in the closing laps, Winsett would drop some solid lap times, pull out an advantage, and take home the win in the 30-plus class. Now the 50-plus class. How about Dave Kilkenny? Aboard that beautiful Harley-Davidson, gets the lead over Chad Mason. He would come home with a pretty comfortable win, 1.3 seconds. Kilkenny taking the win in the 50-plus class and hoping to carry that momentum into the Hooligan main event. The Hooligan class, Kilkenny against Sean Bear, Robert Lewis, Georgie Price, just to name a few. Now, the Hooligans were actually the final race on the night. They would close out the show for us. Kilkenny with the whole shot over Sean Bear. A little bit of a surprise there. Bear so dominant on that BMW, but Kilkenny giving him all he could handle early on. Bear, though, underneath him, takes the lead going into 3 and 4. Bear looking to control this race from the front, but Kilkenny not letting it be an easy race for him. Also, Robert Lewis and Georgie Price staying in the mix as well. This is not what we expected. We thought Bear on that BMW, with how strong he is of a rider, would be able to pull out a solid lead and gap these riders, but all 4 staying very close. Just a little past halfway, Robert Lewis around the outside of Kilkenny to take over second and start a charge of his own as Bear was starting to squeak away. Lewis would stay competitive, keep Bear in his sights, but ultimately Sean Bear aboard the BMW, just too strong, takes home the win in the hooligan class ahead of Robert Lewis. And on the last lap, there was some drama as Dave Kilkenny went down. Georgie Price also having an issue. And so Jonathan Conaby brings home Georgie Price's other bike, third place in the hooligan class. KTM Johnny, how about Harley Johnny? Now on to the pros. We'll give them their love now. A great field of riders, as we talked about earlier. And in qualifying, it was the brothers Lowe going top of the charts. Trent Lowe topping 450 Pro qualifying, and the Jet Jared Lowe, extremely impressive, topping Open Pro qualifying. Trent would take home wins in both of his heat races, but unfortunately, poor starts from the Jet would impede his flight path on the night, making it a little bit more difficult on him. Another rider coming up to poise a challenge on the night, the number 26 of Aiden Roos-Evans, who would win both of his heat races and throw his name in the hat as a potential contender for wins on the night, and boy, would he make the most of it. In the 450 Expert Dash, Roos-Evans, whole shot, leads every lap, picks up a little extra cash. Roos-Evans, coming off an extremely strong performance with AFT and Sonoy and looking to carry that momentum onward throughout the rest of the season. He would mention it was the first time on a mod bike, and he was looking very strong. Could he keep that momentum going into the 450 main event, which would be the next on the docket for the pros? In the 450 main event, it would be Trent Lowe getting the whole shot, leading the field around the first lap of the race, but Dalton Gauthier, hot on his heels, would make a charge underneath Trent early on and take the lead. Gauthier looking to control this race from the front. He's won RVA events in the past, not at Virginia Motor Speedway, but Dalton looking very strong. He's currently second in AFT points, get some momentum as they go into Texas, but Gauthier would be challenged by Roos-Evans. And a little past halfway, Roos-Evans makes a move underneath Gauthier to take the lead and would bring Trent Lowe with him. These two would set sail, Trent trying to keep pace with Roos-Evans. Gauthier, a little bit of mistake in 3 and 4, would have him fall into the clutches of Jared Lowe, and those two would have a little bit of a battle all the way to the finish. But out front, it was Roos-Evans looking so smooth up front. Trent giving it all he had, but just couldn't close the gap. And so Roos-Evans continues his strong night with a win in the 450 Pro class. Trent Lowe brings it home second, and Dalton Gauthier will hang on to third ahead of Jared Lowe and the rest of the field. In the Open Pro Dash for Cash, Evan Renshaw gets the whole shot and looks to halt the momentum of Roos-Evans on the night. Renshaw would be strong throughout the race, but coming out of turn 2 on the last lap, bobbles a bit, and Roos-Evans shoots the gap underneath him, takes over the lead, and would hold off Renshaw and Turner Racing teammate Trent Lowe. Roos-Evans 3 for 3 at this point in the money races. Now, could he keep it going into the final event of the evening, the Open Pro main event? Off the line, not the best start for Roos-Evans. Renshaw once again out front, Gauthier into second. Roos-Evans comes up behind him in third, gets by Gauthier, and makes his quest for the lead known. Gets under Renshaw going into 3 and 4 early on and looking to check out. He wants to sweep the night. Trent Lowe, who'd been strong early on, buried a bit, running in 5th early in the race. He would have to get aggressive and make moves around brother Jared. He knew he needed to get by everybody and try to keep Roos-Evans in his sights. With how strong that Yamaha had been, Trent could not let Roos-Evans get far ahead. Gets by Gauthier there, gets under teammate Renshaw here, and now his charge is on. As Roos-Evans would continue to clock off solid laps, Trent would set the fastest lap of the race, and he was closing at a rapid pace, making it very interesting as the race was entering its latter stages. But a moment in 1 and 2, Trent Lowe slips up, and Roos-Evans able to pull away a bit, and that would be all she wrote for this. Aiden Roos-Evans, 4 for 4 on the night, wins every money race. What an evening for the number 26 rider who's taken victory at the Winter Throwdown. He closed out that event, sweeping the RVA Flat Track Eddie Boomhower Memorial. An amazing performance by the number 26 Yamaha.
It feels great. You know, it's not only a great event. We're here to just get some confidence back. These last 2 years have been kind of up and down. I got the right people behind me now. I got everything that I ever wanted or needed. So it's glad to have Yamaha back aboard. My dad's a big provider for all this. He's making me train. Just back on his workouts. That's what's really changed. And ATV's more supplying all the bikes, DASA building them. It's a great combo. Derek and Andrew taking care of the wrenches, and it provides me more time to work out. It's really mindset. It's 50-50. We basically stiffen up suspension. I really like it stiff. It's just been where my characteristics has been. But it's mostly talking to Derek and Andrew, getting everything together. tire pressures, going over everything. It's also getting the right fuel and the right mindset going into mains and heats and dashes. Yeah, it's a huge confidence boost. I mean, tonight was a great test. Tomorrow we'll test more, and we're testing 24/7 with these bikes. Every bit of time is into these bikes. But lastly, it's a great confidence boost. Winning everything here tonight, going into Texas, this makes us going to great, and it's my first time on my bike, so we really like it. We really like it.
If you missed any of the exciting racing from the Eddie Boomhower Memorial, we'll link the broadcast. There was a live stream that night. That video has been posted. You can watch all of the racing action from heat races through the main event, all the action called by Sammy Saavedra. A great broadcast to bring all the racing to you fans who weren't able to be in attendance. I have to give a huge, huge thanks to all the spectators who came out and sat in the stands. The weather was chilly, but we had a great crowd turnout for the Eddie Boomhower Memorial at Virginia Motor Speedway. Thank you to all you fans who showed out to support this event, and to all you riders who came out to put a great show on for the fans in the stands. The track was wicked fast, lap times quicker than last year, and great racing throughout the evening. So cool to see so many riders come out and support amateur flat track racing. All right, so that wraps up everything here tonight from Virginia Motor Speedway. Standing here in Victory Lane, where Aid Roof Sevens and Sean Bear were the big winners on the night. Sean Bear taking home the win in that Hooligans class, and Aid Roof Sevens with the clean sweep of all the pro classes, Dash for Cash and main events tonight. Another big outlaw win for Roof Sevens, who took home the final event at Winter Throwdown, and sweeping the night here at the RVA event. Got to be a huge confidence booster as he looks to improve upon his best finish in AFT and going for a win in Texas in a couple of weeks. Thank you guys for checking everything out. Thank you to Sammy Saavedra for calling all the action tonight, Robbie Bobby handling all the scoring, and of course, Virginia Motor Speedway, John Nickens, Mike Hacker, everybody involved with RVA Flat Track for putting on one of the best outlaw events that you can ever get to. So please, next year, make sure you check it out. Follow RVA on Facebook. Stay up to date with all their news, all the events that they're going to be putting together, and make sure you come out to one of these races. It's a must-attend event. Take care, everybody.
And this just fuels my fire. Everyone doubted me. Everyone that sat there and said I couldn't be what I could be. I just want to go back to what I used to be. I can't thank my dad, Andrew, Derek. They worked their asses off tonight. They really did.